Oh, I didn't see it there. Greetings and welcome to a new series called What the What the What the Sorry about this, dude. Kind of Greetings and welcome. What the hell? Greetings and welcome to a video history lesson. In fact, I got this idea of a video history lesson while in U.S. history. I mean, in world history, sorry. Well, since I'm in U.S. history this semester, well, this is a new series called Video History Lessons. Today our topic will be about the War of 1812. I gotta close the door. Just a second. Right. So, let's begin. Now the War of 1812 was a fight between the Americans and the British. The last time Americans fought the British was back in 1776. Well, our country was just starting back then, and the president at the time was James Madison. And I'm going to look it all up on Wikipedia. So now we look up War of 1812. This was a 33-month military conflict between, looks at the belligerents. The result was a military stalemate, which means it was a balance. The Treaty of Ghent, the British invasions of this country repulsed the status quo antebellum with no boundary changes, and the defeat of Tecumseh's Confederacy. Well, on our side was the Choctaw, Cherokee, and Creek Indians, and on the British side, the UK, the Canadas. Well, it was a territory of the British back then, and they got all these Indian tribes. For time's sake, I'm not gonna list them all. Well, also Spain was involved. Also, Spanish controlled Florida back then. Like I said, James Madison. Yep. Also, the militia was part of the United States Army back then. Well, 7,000 troops was the start of the war, and at the end, 35,800 soldiers. And during that time, we had a functioning navy. Well, back then we didn't have no navy. Only the British did. Back then we just had no navy. Well, we had a militia. Well, the origins of this back in 1807, Britain introduced a series of trade restrictions called tariffs. Well, if don't know what a tariff is, it's tax on imported goods. And what else? Let's see. Well, a series of orders and council, I don't know what that is yet, to impede neutral trade with France. Plus, Britain supported for Native American raids, like money wise, army wise, etc., etc. And so, the British fought alongside Native American Indians and up in Canada. Now the U.S. forces, the USN had 7,250 soldiers and Navy officers and Marines in 1812. Plus, back then it was all trained and professional force that fought well against the Barbary pirates and the French in Quasi War. Well, we'll get to that in a later episode. Now the British, like the Navy, it was well trained and described by the Canadian historian Carl Benn as the world's most powerful navy. It was more powerful than the U.S. Navy back then. Now the Indians. Well, it had a lower population compared to white people and lacking artillery. Well, they decided to ally with the British and avoided pitched battles, instead relied on irregular warfare, including raids and ambushes by us back then. Now the declaration of war. Well, on June 1st, 1812, President James Madison sent a message to Congress recounting American grievances against Great Britain. So, 1812, it was about, I think, let's see, what is 1812 minus 1776?
The answer is 36.
So, the War of 1812 was 36 years later than the founding of our country, so our country was 36 years old at the time. Plus, this was another declaration of war. Well, earlier, about almost a month ago, in London, an assassin killed the Prime Minister Spencer Perceval, which resulted in Lord Liverpool coming to power. Liverpool wanted a more practical relationship with the United States. So, well, to this day, Great Britain is still one of our allies, even though back in the 1770s and earlier than that, we have some misunderstandings. Now here comes the timeline of the War of 1812. Well, in 1803, war resumed with the UK and Ireland in the First French Empire. In 1804, quashed William's treaty with William Henry Harrison caused many Saul Indians with the British. Let's go with 1812. Here we go. In 1812, there was an American trade embargo, and months later, Prime Minister Spencer Perceval was assassinated. And on June 1st, 1812, President James Madison's war measures came. And on June 16th, Lord Castlereagh, known as Parliament, repealed orders in council. Now, June to August, Baltimore riots. And just on June 18th, the declaration of war by the United States against the United Kingdom of Great Britain. June 29th, schooner Sophia, an island packet taken by the British in the St. Lawrence River. That's up in Canada. Also, 4 days later, a skirmish on River Cannon occurred. A day later, attack when captured Fort Manicac. And on August 8th, British General Isaiah Brock embarks at Port Dover for the relief of Amherstburg. September 12th, 1812, U.S. General William Henry Harrison reinforcements Fort Wayne. Well, William Henry Harrison was the 9th President of the United States. Plus, on October 18th, 1812, it was the capture of His Majesty's Frolic, His Majesty's Seas, or HMS Frolic. On that same day, the British captured one of our ships, the USS Wasp. And on October 25th, we captured another British ship, the HMS Macedonia. And, on election day is November 8th. So, I should just sum it all up. In November, James Madison was re-elected for a second term. On that same day, the British blockades South Carolina and Georgia. On November 9th, it was November 8th that, it was November 8th, what is election day, by the way. A day later, escape of the HMS Royal George. November 23rd, it wasn't, I think it was Thanksgiving until the 1860s. Us retreated from Eastern Canada. Now, let's go a year later. William Jones serves as Secretary of the Navy. 10 days later, the Battle of Frenchtown. Before I continue on, let's know about the Battle of Frenchtown. Known as the Battle of the River Basin and the River Race Massacre. The belligerents were the United Kingdom and the Native Americans. There were two POWs, James Winchester and George Madison. Not to be confused with James Madison. John Armstrong serves as Secretary of War, now known as Secretary of Defense. We got the Battle of Ogdensburg. It was a battle between, like I said, the United Kingdom and the United States. George MacDonald and Benjamin Forsyth. There's more troops in this battle. We had 250, they had 520, so it was outnumbered. We've occupied West Florida, which was uncontrolled Spain at the time. The Battle of York, the siege at Fort Meigs, British abandoned Fort Erie, Lake Erie, I'll get to that in another episode. Americans abandoned Fort Erie, I said that already. The Battle of Craney Island. June 13th, on June 24th was the Battle of Beaver Dams. July 27th, Battle of Burnt Corn. We got another capture of USS Argus. September 10th, 1813, the Battle of Lake Erie. Known as the Battle of Put-in Bay. We had 2 ships, 1 brig, 2 schooners, and 1 sloop. November 9th, Battle of Talladega. Sorry about this, guys. I'm skipping events, but it's time safe. Hey, Coach the Plunge, if you're watching this, I hope this video gives me an extra credit or something. Now, 1814. January 22nd, the battles of Imakwa and Inotepatco Creek. 2 days later, the Battle of Inotepatco. March 27th, the Battle of Horseshoe Bend. Well, it was an Indian battle. The Red Creeks and the Native American Indians. The HMS Orpheus defeats the USS Frolic. On June 28th, 1814, the USS Wasp defeats the HMS Reindeer. Who would name a ship from Britain a Reindeer? Might as well call it HMS Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or something, huh? Yeah. Alright. The Battle of Lundy's Lane. The Sinclair Squadron arrives at Mackinac Island. The Siege of Fort Erie on August 2nd. The Greek people signed treaty at Fort Jackson. And plus, guess who was the general of one of the battles? Andrew Jackson. I think it's gonna be Capture Fort Niagara. Always say, well, it's Battle of Horseshoe Bend. Alright. 1815. The Battle of New Orleans. The capture of the USS President. February 1st, construction commences at the Pentaguashi Naval Yard. This country adopts second enemy trade law. The surrender of Fort Boyer. United States ratifies the Treaty of Gien. It was signed on Christmas Eve, 1814, in the city of Ghent, Belgium. Beside the Treaty of Versailles. Location Ghent in the United Netherlands. The capture of Cayenne. Napoleon escaped to Elba, trading the 100 Days War. March 23rd, the capture of the U.S. Penguin. A month later, it's the Battle of Sinkhole. The last battle. So, the Battle of Sinkhole was fought on May 24th, 1815, at the official end of the war of 1812, between the Missouri Rangers and the Saw Indians, led by Black Hawk. The Saw were unaware or didn't care that the British were patrons had signed the Treaty of Ghent with the U.S. The battle was fought in a low spot near the mouth of the Quaver River in Missouri, further than the city of Monroe, near Fort Howard and Fort Gap Creek, and ambushed by the Saw and a company of Rangers. led to prolonged siege in which 7 Rangers, including their commander Captain Peter Craig, and the Saw were killed. Conflicting accounts of the action were given by John Shaw and by Blackwell. See right there? If y'all can see it or not. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of video history. As always, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe for more vlogs, like and comment, hit that notification button, follow me on Twitter at @IndiansMan, and next time I'll talk about, let's see, 1812. Next time I'll talk about Lake Erie and how it develops and grows in our country. Well, if y'all can't wait, I can do it now. So, I'll give you guys a brief history of it. So, Lake Erie was like a trade route, just like the Panama Canal. It had a lock system, and Eli Whitney made interchangeable parts because that time it was the Industrial Revolution in this country, not in Great Britain. And during the Industrial Revolution, the Erie Canal was a key role in shipping raw materials like cotton from the south and shipping it to the factories and textiles up in the north. And back then there were no child labor laws. Back then when you were like 7 years old, you were treated like a mature adult. And believe me, back then you got hurt on the job. It was unsafe. That's the creation of labor unions, who fought for better pay and better working conditions. Just to name a few. And in U.S. history, I've seen a political cartoon where this big guy, it resembles big business, and he's eating. He's picking the kids up with these 2 fingers right here, and he's just killing them. Just like the factories did. And it was powered by steam. And it was water powered. And it was steam powered at the time. But plus to operate the factories, it needed lots of coal, which it got from the mine. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video history lesson. As always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, subscribe for more vlogs, hit that like button, hit that notification button, follow me on Twitter at @IndiansMan. Thank you for watching. See you next time. And you guys can in the comments you can suggest on what topics I can cover in future episodes. This is episode 1. Episode 2 we'll just skip ahead to the 50s, 60s, and 70s and 80s. In fact, I'll be doing that in another episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.